25th Sunday in Ordinary Time, Year C, September 21st, 2025. The person who is trustworthy in very small matters is also trustworthy in great ones. And the person who is dishonest in very small matters is also dishonest in great ones. In the Gospel, Jesus' parable challenges us to consider how we can genuinely utilize our intelligence, gifts, and talents to serve God and one another. He upholds the intelligence of the dishonest servant and praises him. The conduct of the disingenuous servant in the Gospel can be unsettling because it deviates from the norm and regular practice. Jesus commended the dishonest servant's wit, resourcefulness, and innovative way of inspiring initiative. He falls short in approving his unholy conduct. Amos is a prophet of God. He was front and center in promoting people with low incomes, serving as the voice for the voiceless, and was a strong advocate for the social justice of his time. He calls things the way they are and fights for the poor, the widow, and the orphans. An economic boom marked his time, but it was also characterized by social inequalities and injustice. Those in the high ranks disliked his critic and would rather expel and exile him. Amos likes to remind individuals that he was just a shepherd, a dresser of trees, and God invited him and appointed him a prophet. Amos's words exemplify courage in our call to stand with the weak and poor in their time of need. He disapproves of the trading system because it involves inappropriate trading at the expense of people experiencing poverty. He sees it as an injustice, cheating, and exploitation of people with low incomes. In contrast, in the Gospel, Jesus hails the dishonest and manipulative servant for being clever in his thinking. From the scene, it appears the manager was able to bring out the best in a bad situation. Ethically, the end does not justify the means, but rather the opposite. This is what is unnerving and unsettling about the dishonest servant's conduct. The readings call us to be just in all circumstances and in our practices. Jesus speaks of being trustworthy and true to oneself in every circumstances. Someone's dishonesty can have a considerable cost to society, the nation, and the family. From the previous readings on the Gospel of Luke, we know that Luke is sympathetic to the needs of the poor. As the psalmist tells us, the Lord lifts the poor. He advocates building our treasures in heaven by sharing our goods and talents with those in need. In that line of thought, we can understand the role of the dishonest manager, helping people experiencing poverty, lowering the cost, rather than exploiting them. However, we may never know his full intent. It could be that he was lowering the bills of his debtors so they could afford to pay back, or that he was appeasing them for his own benefit by securing a place in case of a rainy day. His methods may have seemed unconventional, but he was commended for his visionary approach to a challenging situation. Luke's gospel is consistent in its teaching on sharing with the poor. In doing that, you accrue treasures in heaven. Jesus clarified that one could not serve God and wealth simultaneously without experiencing the tension between self-centeredness and serving others. Prophet Amos calls for fairness and justice in dealing with others. At the same time, Jesus asks us to be good stewards of our gifts. So these could be the gifts of wealth, knowledge, talent, and many other ways we feel blessed. By using them to serve one another, we build God's kingdom and accumulate more treasures in heaven. In justice, some may try to take the law into their own hands to deal with offenders who perpetuate the suffering of the poor. Instead, St. Paul calls us to pray on their behalf as we all walk towards a more just society for all. We pray that we may see our service to one another as service to God. Have a blessed Sunday.